We on camera, Oriole fans. Are you guys ready for baseball season? Because this is our 2024 MLB predictions video. This is Ravery Sports podcast MLB predictions video. My name is Charles. I'm the owner, CEO, founder of Ravery Sports. Ravery Sports is a sportswear store that sells Orioles and Ravens merchandise on our website. On our website, I'm sorry. That's my last name. On our website, ravorisports.company.site, you can get Orioles merchandise like this shirt here, Cal Ripken there in the back, hats as well. We can get that on the website. Lots of great Orioles merchandise. We talk Ravens here as well. So all of our merchandise is available on ravorisports.company.site. So definitely check it out. We do content creation here. We hope that you talk a little baseball with us, talk a little football with us. So you'll go to our website and go ahead and buy some outstanding merchandise on the site. A little bit of business. Genesis Notary Services is my notary business. You can book an appointment. Genesis Notary Services /Facebook.com. You can call us at the phone number on the website there as well. Also, you can book it right on the site. So you can book the day, the time. We'll be happy to come out if you live. This is for you in the Shenandoah Valley area. So I know I've had some people reach out to me in other, like Baltimore or whatever. Like, it's just Shenandoah Valley area. Unfortunately, I don't have the bandwidth to travel that much yet. So Shenandoah Valley area, that's for you. Manassas area, that's fine. Shenandoah area, Berryville, Virginia, all that's for you. What's for you, everyone watching, is C. Charles Harris. We are LegalShield.com. So definitely, especially you business owners out there, you business owners are looking for a little bit of help with the legal fees that you might have if you are worried about legal issues, if you need to collect money right now from people, if you're worried about getting sued or anything like that, you just need a letter sent out. All those type of things are covered in your Legal Shield package. We have that for you. We are LegalShield.com. Definitely go ahead to our Facebook page. You can call the number in there, or you can go directly to that website. Let's get rolling. Let's get it popping. 90 slang. Because I'm old. So MLB predictions video ready to go for you today. And we're going to go ahead and start with the MLB. So what's going to happen this year? We're ready for a baseball season. We're going to go ahead and get this queued up and all ready to go here. And we're going to go ahead and start.
So they can see her. I'm pretty sure they might want to see her.
All right. So we are ready for the baseball season here. We're going to go ahead and get started here. So MLB predictions. I know Oriole fans, I did not have Orioles winning the World Series. So a spoiler alert at the end. All right. So I had to be fair and objective in that. So just spoiler alert, that part of it, I say that for we're an Orioles stream. So we go ahead and say Orioles at the end. We're not going to do that. But the Orioles are winning this division. So Baltimore definitely is in first place. I think getting Burns did it for me especially. I think I had him a little bit ahead of the Yankees anyway, but getting Corbin Burns is a big deal. I think Burns, is terrific. I mean, that's the one thing. Why did you lose last year in the playoffs? Because you didn't have an ace like Texas did. You didn't have those great. That's definitely what you needed. The offense is emerging. How much better can Adley Rutschman get? How much better could Gunnar Henderson get? They're going to get Jackson Holiday, I guess, at some point. Not at the start. That's ridiculous. But you're going to have Jackson Holiday this year. You're going to have – I think the Orioles are underrated. Santander, Mountcastle, Cedric Mountain. I mean, there's a lot there. There's a lot of good players on there. They don't have an enormous aircraft carrier, but they really have a lot of good players as well. And they did get Craig Kimbrell. That's big time. Big time getting Kimbrell. Not as equal trade-off as Felix Bautista, but you get Craig Kimbrell. That's pretty big deal. Getting a guy who's potentially going to the Hall of Fame. Yankees. Yankees probably had their worst season in forever last year. They had to get better on offense, and they absolutely did. They went ahead and got Juan Soto. That really is going to help them a lot. They're going to put him in right field. Or definitely, you got an MVP candidate right out there to go along with Judge. So now you don't have to worry anymore about Giancarlo Stanton and his numbers putting up. Gabriel Torres is getting better. Can they get some of their pitchers back? That's the thing. Nestor Cortez, Carlos Rodon, they got to get better there as well. So can they begin? The bullpen, Clay Holmes, I think, is really good in the ninth inning. So they really have a lot of talent there. I don't think they're going to languish 2 years in a row with all the moves that they went ahead and made with that move. Getting Soto, that's a big deal. That puts them in second. Tampa Bay Rays. Well, I guess we should be putting them lower than this, but I'm going to you can't do it. They've always find a way. So you lose Shane McClanahan to like Tommy John. You trade away Tyler Glasnow. You still don't know what's going on with Wander Franco. He hasn't appeared at all. Look, they still have Yandy Diaz. I'm not going against them. They got all those Dodger prospects. No way I'm putting them lower than third. So Tampa is going to go in third. I don't know if they make the playoffs. But the Rays, I'm definitely not putting that there as well. Blue Jays, by every metric, they should be higher than Tampa. But the history just doesn't tell me that. And I'm just got to go with that at this point. Look, their rotation is terrific. Jose Barrios, Chris Bassett, Kikuchi, Kevin Gausman, even though they're not going to have him at the start. You got Vlad Guerrero, Bo Bichette. I've kind of said this for the last couple of years with the Blue Jays. You beat you beat bad teams, but you don't beat good ones. You don't win the games you need to win to get where you need to get. That's kind of the narrative. I just can't put them ahead of Tampa. I think they probably win. I mean, they have a winning record, but I think it's there. The Red Sox, I think they're going to be in last. I don't think they have enough pitching. That's just all there is to it. I love Devers. Devers, I think, is one of the most underrated players in all of baseball, Rafael Devers. So that was probably keeping this worse than what it is. He's going to keep them near 500. They got Yoshida Masako for that. They're going to hoping that Trevor Story bounce back. They finally did trade away Chris Sale in the offseason. Kelly Jansen's still there. They're in fifth. I don't think they get any higher than that. They're about a year away. Red Sox are about a year away. They got to get more pitching. The AL, the American League Central, the Minnesota Twins in the Central Division. The Minnesota Twins are in the Central Division, winning it. I think the Twins definitely are the best team in that division. Not by a lot, though. Not by a lot. This is a very close division, very difficult to pick. You're going to see, you watch a lot of these type videos, you're going to see a lot of different ones here. But I do like Minnesota. Royce Lewis, I think, was a big difference between them. And the reason I like them is at the end of the year, it was real close. A lot of those teams are below 500. They kind of emerged at the end. Royce Lewis, I think, is going to come up and do well for them. Came up and did well for them, kind of gets them separated. Brian Buxton started to come around. Carlos Correa started to come around. And they did lose Sonny Gray, but they still have Pablo Lopez. I think he's one of the best pitchers in the American League. Duran in the back end of the bullpen, I think, is outstanding as well. I do like the Twins actually to win this division. I don't think they win more than 90 games, though. Be surprising. I didn't do records in particular, but their 80-plus wins, I think, still wins this division. Cleveland Guardians as well. I think they speak for themselves. The Guardians, I think, can they kind of regain form? Steve Kwan is still there, is one of the best outfielders, leadoff guy, traditional leadoff guy for them. Jose Ramirez is still there as well. Shane Bieber is still there, even though there's been trade talks for him as well. Alano Clase, probably I think he's the best closer in the American League now that you don't have Felix Bautista. So there's a lot of talent there. There's some talent there in Cleveland, but it's not enormous. It's not overwhelming. They kind of struggle a bit. Look like they kind of lost their way at the end of the year last year. I think there's enough there to finish second. They could finish first, but I think they're in second. Team that won it the year before Cleveland did, the White Sox. I'm the only person that thinks the White Sox. I mean, some of the stuff I've seen with the White Sox is 50 wins and all that. I don't know about all that. Here's the deal. I still do like a lot of their young hitters. Andrew Bentonati's still there. Andrew Vaughn's still there. Eloy Jimenez is still there. Lewis Robert. I like that core there. They still have some offensive players there as well. Their pitching is terrible, but it's been terrible. I don't think the guys they lost, Lance Lynn and all that stuff, is hurting them at all. They did trade Dylan Cease, but again, they didn't win anyway. So they got some players back for that. I'm still thinking maybe they can have something. Their offense, I think, I actually kind of like it better than almost as much as the two teams ahead of them. So that's why I got the White Sox in third. The Tigers are in fourth. Tigers are getting there. They're getting better. I still think you need another. I still think you need another year. I think it depends on how Riley Green and Spencer Torkelson really emerge. So Torkelson kind of struggled out the gate, got better as the season went along, really got better. Riley Green has really developed into one of the better players in the American League. Tariq Sabal, that's big. How good is he? Do they have an ace? Do they have enough pitching to actually get what they need to get? I don't think they do yet. I think they're still kind of building that. Some people also, too, like Kansas City more. I do, too. I don't think they're at the – I think this is, again, really tough in this division because they're all kind of close. I think there's a case to be made that KC can win this division because they may have the best player in the entire division when we talk about Bobby Witt Jr. So they're right there in that sense. I mean, Bobby Witt's pretty good. Sal Perez is still there. I don't think that's enough offense, though. The pitching is better. Not too bad. Michael Wacha, I've always liked. They got him in the offseason. I think he's a little underrated. Seth Lugo, they also acquired him in the offseason. I don't think it's quite enough to pull him out of the basement, though, even in this division. I would say this. There's no real true basement here. Like, I think this division might be separated by about 10 games. Like, either way. the Twins, I think, may win it with 85 wins. The Royals may lose it and be at the bottom with 75. It's pretty close, I think, all year round. This division is more decisive. This will not be win by 10 games. These are World Series contenders in this division. I'm sticking with the Rangers. They do have some issues. They're not going to have Corey Seager at the beginning due to an injury. They're not going to have Jacob deGrom right away, who's always battling injury. They're not going to have the War Daddy Max Scherzer, and I love saying that, War Daddy Max Scherzer. So they're not going to have Scherzer there as well. I still like them to win this division. I think they are much better than what people think as well. Now, Aladis Garcia is fantastic. Marcus Semien is still fantastic. Wyatt Langford, bring him up right away. How about that, Orioles? He was in the College World Series last year. He's going to make the opening day roster and start for them this year. That's how good Wyatt Langford is. So I think their starting pitching, I think that's the only concern for me. Got innings from Nathan Eovaldi last year that were good. Can you replicate that? Can you do that 2 years in a row? We will see if that's the case with them. But I still think they are just a hair. This division, 3 to the post. Very close at the top, these 3 top teams. Houston Astros. Bloom is off the rose a bit. Here's the thing. Looking at this team, everybody thinks that everybody on this team is 50 years old. like Altuve, he just got extension. He's like 30. I'm not so sure it's as bad as what I've heard. I think they're right there. I think there was something a little missing last year for whatever it is. The pitching maybe is not quite as good as it used to be, but I think they're about where they've always been. They have Altuve, Yordan Alvarez, young Kyle Tucker, Alex Bregman, Pena, maybe they're still hoping to get that along. They're pitching Valdez, Christian Javier, the back end of the bullpen. So they got all that money for Josh Hader. They still have Ryan Presley. You're gonna have a 7-inning game if you're playing the Houston Astros. So keep that. I mean, they were really good. I think they win 90 plus games for sure. It's probably in a different division. They might even be 100. They're really good. The Mariners are terrific. The Mariners, I think this may be the best rotation in all of baseball. Logan, Gilbert, George, Kirby, Castillo at the top of that rotation, Andres Munoz. The reason why they got rid of such a good closer last year, Paul Sewald, is because Andres Munoz kind of was the guy that they were really looking forward to inherit that role there. So their pitching is outstanding. Julio Rodriguez, I think, is an MVP candidate on the offensive side as well. That's about all you got, though. That's why they're in third. I don't know if they score enough runs when they're playing the Astros and they're playing the Rangers in their division to beat those. That's probably the only thing to keep it third. They have everything else they need. Absolutely have everything else you need. Angels are in fourth. That's where they belong. Mike Trout keeps them out of the basement. If he's even going to be there all year, I think this team could lose 100 games. I don't know if they will. I think Trout probably, again, you keep Trout all year and he stays healthy, that probably won't happen. Nolan Schwarber, again, another guy like Wyatt Knife in the draft last year, very few minor leagues. He's going to start for them. He's going to start for them at first pick. So something to look forward to there as well. They're going to start Sandoval, Detmer, really no real starting pitching. Pedro Sandoval, Detmer, really no starting pitching relief, really good relievers to speak of. And Oakland, there's nothing there. They're waiting. When does it start in Las Vegas? It's a shame what they've done to the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's growing up, one of my favorite teams that not named the Orioles, having Tony La Russa, Ricky Henderson, those guys, seeing what this is. Look, right there, Zach Galoff is there, Brent Rooker, Esther Ruiz, a couple good young players, and nothing else. I feel bad for the A's. It really do, because it's not right what the league is allowing to happen to the A's. And National League. Atlanta Braves, of course, in first place. Can they finish the show? That's the only thing. The talent is 100 plus wins. No question about it. I was doing the top 10 lists for all for players around the league. I think there was more Braves than on all the lists. Austin Riley could be an MVP candidate. Ronald Acuna won the MVP last year. Matt Olson, you could say, is an MVP candidate. Ozzie Albies is the top second. I mean, look, Spencer Strider led the league in strikeouts. They're starting pitching free at the top of the order. A little bit concerned after that. Charlie Morton's about 40 years old now, so he's in a rotation. Little bit of a concern there. They're really good. I don't see any reason why you don't win 100 games, even in this division. And I don't think this division is as strong as it's been in recent years. So they should win the division. Can you close it? The team that's been doing better in the playoffs is the team behind the Philadelphia Phillies, who are really right there as well. I don't know if they win 100 games, but they're really good. The Phillies are as good as any team. Zach Wheeler at the top of the rotation, and Aaron Nola is terrific. Those two guys are probably as good as anybody and they're good in the playoffs. That's the difference between them and Atlanta. They're good in the playoffs. Taijuan Walker is still there. I think on offense, they have some good offensive players. Love Kyle Schwarber. Love Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber, look, you got to love a guy who has 50 home runs and can't hit 200. you got to love it. They got Trey Turner, Rumlato, I think one of the best catchers in the National League. So what's the problem? What's the problem? They just got to make sure, can they win as many regular season games? But Bryce Harper offense, they kind of go as he goes. They kind of aren't as good as they need to be on paper offensively. I've seen that with them for the last couple years. Atlanta's better during the regular season. That's why I think Atlanta wins more games. The rest of this division, very iffy, very suspect. Maybe you're surprised to see the Marlins ahead of the Mets and the Nets, but I still think whatever they were able to do this year, I'm not as impressed with the Mets. I think the Marlins, Arias almost hit about 400. They still have Josh Bell, Jake Berger, Chisholm. Offense okay-ish. They did go ahead and get Tim Anderson. They're not going to have their outstanding pitcher, Osantra, I think, all year probably. Alatra is all year probably. And Jesus Luzardo, I think, was their best pitcher for them last season, for a lot of the last season. So I think they can get enough there. They'll win about 80-ish games around there. That puts them in third. The Mets, I'm not buying. they have offense, obviously. We know the name. I mean, Francisco Lindor is there. Pete Alonso, I've always liked Pete Alonso. So they have offensive bats there as well. Jeff McNeil, Nimmo, etc. There's no pitching, starting pitching at all. They're going to get Edwin Diaz back. Their starting pitching is terrible. That's not going to work. So they have some offense, but they're gonna be in games 8-7 every night. That's not going to get it. I think the Marlins will finish ahead of them. The Nationals, I think, are getting better, but they're still about a year away. They finally was able to get rid of the Strasburg contract as well. So, well, they haven't got rid of the contract, but he's off the roster. He went ahead and retired. C.J. Abrams is there. Lane Thomas, Kelvin Ruiz. So they got some good young players that are coming up. Their bullpen isn't bad. Former Orioles first-round pick Hunter Harvey, Kyle Finnegan. So it's not bad. I still don't think they have any starting pitching at all. I mean, Patrick Corbin is probably the worst contract maybe in all of baseball. I mean, he's been terrible the most of the time he's been there. Central and the NL is very tough as well. Very tough as well. Central in the National League is very tough. I'm gonna take the Cubs by the hair of the chin, just by the hair of the chin. The Cubs. The Cubs are very, very good. I think they win 80-ish games as well. I'll put the Cubs in that. I don't think there's a case to be made for all 5 of these teams to win the division. It really is. But I think the Cubs a little bit here. Getting Bellinger back, I think, convinced me. Getting Bellinger with the season he had last year, to have him with Dansby Swanson, that gives you 2 really strong offensive players. And they got some other young players that have come up. Suzuki, Christopher Morel. Their offense has a chance to be really, really good. Not household names yet, but I think I really kind of like the White Sox. I like the young hitters. I like some of the young players in Chicago as well. Justin Steele, I'm a believer. Outstanding season that he had. I don't think there's as much behind him, but I think he's really good. I really like Steele. They're crafty left-handed ace for them. So I think they finished first. I would have had the Brewers, honestly, if they had kept Corbin Burns. But the fact that they traded him away, that just I can't put them ahead of Chicago. I just can't do it. The Brewers are always better than what you think. They have Christian Yelich there. They did get Rush Hoskins in the offseason. Willie Adams is still there. Jackson Chirino, I think, is going to be an outstanding offensive player for them. So he's the best young prospect in the National League behind Jackson Holiday. As far as all of them will be behind Jackson Holiday. So he's got a lot of talent there. Freddie Peralta is still there. They have an outstanding closer. I just don't think there's enough else there. They don't have. I think they're just behind the Cubs just by a chair. It'll be close there, and also to the rest of this division. You could say like this. Here's a case to be made for the Reds. I'm sure, again, you could look at the Reds and make a lot of the same case. L.A. De La Cruz, we all love him. We all love L.A. De La Cruz. You cannot like baseball and not like L.A. De La Cruz. Fantastic to watch. Fun to watch. It reminds me of watching when I watch Ricky Henderson when I see him. That's how funny he is to watch. Spencer Steer is still there. to go ahead. They did get Candelario in the offseason at third base. Hunter Green, I think, is coming along well. So again, but behind those two teams, I still think they're about a year away. That could surprise you, though. I think there's a case to be made, but I still think they're about a year away. I still don't think there's quite enough there. I don't think their offense is as good as the two teams ahead of them. The Cards, they were for years the old standby. So the St. Louis Cardinals were good for a long time. Adam Wainwright finally retired after all these years. Pretty good here. I still think they probably get around 500. They kept Paul Goldsmith. They kept Nelson Arenado. That surprised me that they actually went ahead and kept those guys. Jordan Walker and Nelson DeGrom and Nolan Gorman, rather. I'm sorry, are coming up is good. Wilson Contreras got to get better behind the plate. He's good offensively. So that's it. Their pitching, I'm not sure. I don't know if you have Sonny Gray at the start of the season and you sign Lance Lynn, you sign Gibson. I don't know. I don't know if that's enough to actually go ahead and get like yours. So they have offense, but their pitching is – see how it's in this division, it's you lose a little bit of another. The Pirates are 5. I think they're probably in the right spot. O'Neill, Cruz, and Brian Revers are still two good young players, are still two good players. I think they need to get a little bit better. I don't think they're good enough to go ahead and push past a lot of these teams in this division. They did get Riley Tellez. Henry Davis, young catcher there for them, is getting there. They did get Aroldis Chapman to go along with Bendar in the back end of the bullpen. So that's pretty good. I could see it. I think the Cubs will win the division, though. Because very tough, very cool that this is close. This division ain't as close, I think, here. Can the Dodgers win 100? 4 of the last 5 seasons, the Dodgers have won 100-plus games. The only season they didn't win, obviously, in 2020 when they didn't play 100 games, they won. So the Dodgers, you can almost guarantee that they're going to win 100 games. There's no way they don't win 100-plus games with this offense. You got Mookie Betts, who they said he was going to play second. He's going to play shortstop now full-time. That's what they're going to do. So they got Will Smith there. They got Freddie Freeman there. By the way, Shohei Ohtani is there. The offense is unbelievable. Their pitching is going to be really good. Last year, so they had to really still rely on Clayton Kershaw. They don't have to do that anymore. They traded for Tyler Glasnow. They got Yamamoto, who's terrific in Japan. Bobby Miller was still there. So they are. I think they're really kind of loaded. They're in offense pitching, and the offense is out of this universe. I mean, it's just terrific. Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are not bad. They went to the World Series, and everybody's kind of forgetting about how good the Diamondbacks were. Diamondbacks. Corbin Carroll, I think, is an emerging star as well. Christian Walker is still there and really good. Look, Zach Gallen and Merrill Kelly are fantastic. I think Zach Gallen, one of the best pitchers, if not the best pitcher in the entire National League, especially. So they're really good. They did get Eduardo Rodriguez in the offseason. That's going to help them a lot. They did get Paul Sewald last year from the Mariners. So they're good. I think in almost any other division they win it. I think they probably are at 80-plus wins, near 90. The Giants had a good offseason. The Giants had further to go, but the Giants they went ahead and did a whole lot. They went and got Jung-Hoo Lee from Japan. They went ahead and got Jorge Soler. They went ahead and got Matt Chapman in the offseason. I think they went ahead and they got Blake Snell as well. They went ahead and got Logan Webb. So they did a lot. That's pretty good. I think almost again, if they were in the Central, I mean, they're definitely, I think, maybe the best team in the Central, but it's just not enough in this division. Padres are not that bad, but I don't know where to place the Padres. They're probably, for me, the biggest question mark. we know what we do. They knew what they do have. You have Fernando Tatis. You still have Bogarts. You still have Machado. Hong-Soo Kim. Kim is outstanding. They're going to start young Jackson Merrill, like a great prospect here on opening day. And they traded for Dylan Cease. So all that sounds good. But then how come you didn't win more games last year? You traded away Juan Soto. So I don't know what it places the in this division. They're fourth, even though they're good. The Rockies are fifth. I think they're really not good. Nola Jones is really good. I think he's kind of like Mike Trout in the sense of underrated because nobody knows who he is out there because he's on a bad team. But no way they're a clear fifth in this division. They're going to lose a lot of games. Seeding in the AL: Rangers first, Orioles second, Twins third. The division winners: Wild Cards, Arizona. I'm sorry, not Arizona. The Astros, Mariners, Yankees. I think the West gets 3 teams. I think they beat up on a lot of teams. The NL West. Orioles, I think, get in. Yankees, I also think, get in. Again, the Central, I think they only get the Twins in. NL seeding: Dodgers, Braves, Cubs, Phillies, Diamondbacks, Giants. Dodgers, I think, they're gonna win 100 games. Braves, I think for sure they're gonna win 100 games. Can they perform actually when they get to the playoffs? That's the only question there. Cubs, I think, win the division. They get in by the chin in their division. I think they're the only team that makes it. Phillies, I think they're going to win a lot of games. They're really good. They seem to be really good in the playoffs. Diamondbacks were obviously good last year in the playoffs. I think they get in. Giants, I think, get in. I think they're better than any team in the Central, and I think they have a better record. Who wins the AL? I changed this a little bit from my first thought. Seager, I liked, but he's not going to be there. As much as I hate to have a Yankee, I think Judge, is going to have a monster year. As long as he can stay healthy, I think he's going to hit 40 plus. There's no question. He's going to hit 40 plus home runs. Corbin Burns, why not? Garrett Cole, not going to have him for the first 2 months. I like Burns. I do. I think he's going to be excellent this year. He's going to be a free agent at the end of the year. He's going to be very motivated to go ahead and show everybody how much money he's worth in the market. He's worth he's worth $35-40 million a year. Rocco Baldelli, I think for the Twins, actually becomes manager of the year. I think the winner of the Central, I think, is a good choice there. Rocco Baldelli, I always liked him as a manager. And Jackson Holiday, yes. The Jackson Holiday the Orioles refuse to put on the opening day roster. Even with the service time manipulation, he'll be up. I think he's fantastic. You saw it in spring. I mean, he's fantastic. I think he still wins it, even though he's not going to play for the first till the end of April probably. Shohei Ohtani wins the National League MVP. You can almost book him for 50 home runs in the Dodgers with all that protection. Spencer Strider, I think is going to get 200 plus strikeouts. He's terrific as well. Craig Counsell in the Cubs. Cubs fans are really happy to have him. That's interesting. I mean, he's been good in Milwaukee, but they haven't really won a World Series or anything. But I think like Counsell's known for being good on the margins, good like a Jimmy Leland type. So I think they feel that's going to help them. That's an upgrade over a very popular Cub, all-time Cub. Jackson Chirino, I think I already talked about him. He's terrific. They've already extended him. That's what they think of him. I think they need more offense in Milwaukee. They need more offense to go ahead and win that division. All right. Playoffs, wild card round. Twins lose over to the Yankees. I do think the Yankees make it out of the first round. I think they'll have Cole back by then. I think they have too much experience. I don't know if the Twins have enough offense to go ahead and get farther than that. Astros over the Mariners. Same. I think the offense that the Mariners have through the course of the season, as it is now, I don't think they have enough offense. I think the Astros do. I think the Astros win around also because they've been there so many times. I think that's the case. Phillies over the Giants. Phillies are really good. Hold on. All right, had to redo that graphic there. Management appreciates your cooperation. All right. Phillies over the D-backs. I think that's the correct matchup. So I think the D-backs get there. I think the Phillies, of the fact that they've been there, I think they win around. I do. You got two teams here, the Cubbies and the Giants, haven't really played in a while in these games. I like the Cubs. I think the Cubs actually are going to go ahead and win. Remember, wild card round, they get all 3 games at home. So keep that in mind. That's a big thing there. They get all 3 games at home there. So let's go back. Division series. Yo, Baltimore Orioles over the Yankees. I think the Orioles figure out a way this year to get through this round. They figure out a way to get through that. I think last year having that time off really hurt them. I think this year, I think they all kind of figure it out, and I think they go ahead and beat the Yankees. I think Burns, I think especially has been there in these playoff games. I think that helps them out a lot. Rangers over the Astros. They're close series. I think this could go either way. I think by then they'll have Scherzer. I think by then they'll have DeGrom. I think that matters there in this situation. Astros, I don't think they're quite what they were, so they get knocked out. I do think the Dodgers are same here, as I said with the Orioles. They really got embarrassed last year. I think the thing is, here's the thing now. They don't need Kershaw to bail them out, like as far as their pitching. Their pitching, I think, is much, much stronger. And I think they can go ahead and beat the Phillies. I think the Braves, I don't think the Cubbies are going to have enough yet. Not yet. I don't think they're quite ready yet to go ahead and beat the Braves. I think they're going to have one heck of an ALCS. Baltimore Orioles and the Rangers. I would love to say the Orioles, but I'm not going to. I'm going to say the Rangers. Still climbing that mountain, the Birds. I think that's the case. I think the Rangers are really good. I've really been enamored, and I really do like their manager, Bruce Bochy. The fact that he's been there so many times before, I think that really helps them. We're finally getting Dodgers and Braves in the NLCS. I think these are 2 outstanding offenses as well. Who's going to have enough pitching here? Who's going to have enough pitching to go ahead and sustain them? I think the Dodgers do. I think the Dodgers, with all the moves they made, they go ahead and they win the World Series finally over Texas. I think they're just a hair hungrier than the Rangers are. They're good, but they're just a hair hungrier. There you go. All right, let's get started with the MLB baseball season. Thank you very much for joining us for the Ravery Sports podcast. Orioles, let's go. Thursday, Orioles and the Angels, definitely from Camden Yards. We're excited about that. Let's go O's for the baseball season. Enjoy all the games. You have a great rest of your day.